Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at USAGlobalTV.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to all of you, our listeners and viewers, including our new viewers on Roku Worldwide, Amazon Fire and Amazon Live, and our soon-to-be viewers on Sizzle TV and Apple TV. It is a delight to have you here with us on USA Global TV and Radio. And today's session is Authentic Achievements. And today's show, I'm thrilled to be joined by a fabulous guest, Dr. Felix Kravets, who is the CEO and founder of Cybersecurity Easy. Dr. Felix, welcome to USA Global TV and Radio.
Yep. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Great to see everyone.
Oh, it's such a delight to have you on. And I know you've been on some of our other shows and already shared such fascinating insight around the world of cybersecurity, which I'm so looking forward to learning more about, because I have to admit to being a little bit of a novice in that space, in the interest of being authentic. So, Dr. Felix, can you tell us a little bit about your journey so far and what got you into cybersecurity, please?
Well, thank you. It's a great field, and in today's world, cyber safety is a big deal for everyone, starting from small kids who are using computers since age of 3 in my family, to seniors who are, spending a lot of time on smartphones. I don't believe we even produce nowadays the, cell phones or mobile phones which are not smart. So we're all, either we want it or we don't want it. We're all using technology, and use of technology, unfortunately, comes with being exposed to all type of different risks. This is where cybersecurity easy comes in place.
Oh, I love that. As a mum to a 7-year-old, the safety of our children is so important, isn't it? And it's one of the things that we're always trying to learn more about. But they're on it so early these days, aren't they? I remember Scarlett a really ridiculous age, I think it's about 18 months, being able to work out that if you did that on the phone, that it would widen up the picture of her granny when we were chatting to her. And I was like, who taught you that? But they're constantly watching, aren't they? They're constantly having a look at kind of how we deliver with the world. So how long have you been doing Cybersecurity Easy, and what's the purpose and mission behind it?
Sure, thank you. Thank you. It's a very good question. So Cybersecurity Easy was a 1-year-old company. I've been in the corporate world and in higher education in the United States for many years, in both in the businesses and educational world. Cybersecurity is a big deal. But Cybersecurity Easy specifically specializing in social engineering, which is a human component of the cybersecurity. I believe 97%, based on the published data, 97% of all cybersecurity attacks are caused by the human mistake. And we're not talking about always somebody who on purpose causing damages to the company from inside or from outside. In many cases, it's just a simple human mistake. We're talking about a flash drive that somebody brought from home to show the photo pictures at work from the wedding to coworker, and the flash drive possibly was infected, or the URL that somebody entering in the browser, just checking the Facebook web page, or clicking on a link received via email. So simple mistakes or simple steps that in many cases appropriate based on a policy of the company, or maybe not appropriate, causing billion-dollar damages to the corporations worldwide. So this is where we come in place. So Cybersecurity Easy, even though it has the word cybersecurity in the name, we specifically work to train people, companies, seniors, and children on how to be safe on the internet. So we're not doing coding, we're not doing programming. We train what to watch for and how to be safe. Mainly talking about phishing, about voice cloning nowadays, phone calls, text messages, etc.
Wow, it's scary, isn't it? The things that you can do now, the things that are available, and it's so easy to click on the wrong thing, isn't it? With so many links being sent to us, and people's ability to be able to make it look like it's coming from somewhere it's supposed to come from is worrying, isn't it? What are the key things that we should be looking out for, to keep ourselves safe?
Yes, thank you. Very good question. So everybody is talking in the industry about what we call zero trust approach. So assumption or default should be that we do not trust, no matter what we hear and what we see on the screen of the computer. So checking once or checking twice, checking 3 times. On the business side, we're talking about verification. Make sure you verify it. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever messages you receive. So that is the best way to do. Like you said, unfortunately, today we don't know. You wouldn't know if it's a Dr. Felix Kravets talking to you or if it's a AI-generated image. We don't know if the phone call or message received from a family member is really authentic. We have to guess, and the verification at this time probably would be the best solution.
It's great advice, and it is so scary, isn't it? Because it can be so realistic. My parents suffered from this not long ago, where somebody pretended to be me and messaged them to say that my phone was broken and that they should call them on this phone, and I was in dire straits, etc. My dad's in his 80s, so he immediately panicked. So we've ended up having to put something in that was like, I promise you, if I'm ever in trouble, I will find a phone and I will phone you myself, and I'll give you the secret word so you know that it's me and you know that it's okay. But I would never send you that message. I would never put that out there. But it looked so realistic. It looked so believable, and it played to a fear that they had, which is that their children might need them. Which I guess we see that quite a lot, don't we? That that people, if they're doing this intentionally, try and play to either a desire or a fear of ours, because that's likely to invoke a more emotional response. Would that be fair?
Yes, exactly. You put in exactly right word. So the hackers nowadays, if you think about criminals, if 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people who are conducting crime were, on the street with guns, with groups of, the gang members, being, under risk of being killed every second, or going to jail, arrested. Today, many criminals assume that sitting in the basement of the house and trying to click buttons is easier or safer way to, to do the crime. So many criminal minds switched to online activities, which making this field highly growing internationally. And people can be sitting in the middle of any country in the world and trying to hack the major corporations, assuming that, hey, who will find me in this small town, in this small country, in this part of the world. And that is what, from criminals' perspective, makes this field highly attractive. And unfortunately, until everybody will be fully trained, it's very difficult to fight back. And the educational system in the United States at this time not offering all those training, from the time, from my perspective, when kids and adults need to be trained. So I truly believe if I would be, decision maker in any country in terms of what to learn or what to offer as in education programs nationwide, I would include the cyber safety or social engineering from grade 2 of all the schools nationwide to make sure kids know and not exposed to, and adults as well, and seniors. Everybody needs this training.
Yeah,
I believe nowadays.
I completely agree, and I think one of the additional challenges that you have, particularly in the kind of the really young child space, is how you educate them without them thinking it's because you don't trust them. Because at that age, they're like, don't you think I'm big enough? Don't you think I'm old enough to understand that? And actually, it's helping them understand it's not you that I don't trust, it's everybody else I don't trust. And I just want to keep you safe. I just want to make sure that you are safe and looked after always. And when we get to the spaces of online, that's like you say, it's very hard to work out where the people are, and there seems to be almost an increased bravadery around the fact that you're a little bit more anonymous because you're behind a computer. Would that seem fair?
Yeah, you're completely right. And talking about kids, we all working a lot of hours in every country. Parents, normally there is no way nowadays to fully monitor what our children doing on the computer or on the cell phone, the 24/7. Unfortunately, all those student filters for that and other software that we're purchasing, not always the best solution. So the only way, from my perspective, to help children is to train them, to explain them that somebody who is communicating to you on the computer, not necessarily your friend, not necessarily the child, and can be the criminal. And in the United States, unfortunately, the children and teenagers exposed to all type of crime, which ending really badly for them in many cases. And that is the reason why, as I mentioned, I believe the educational system must be updated immediately to allow children to understand, how things work online at the age where they learn how to write, how to read, and how to communicate. Because if we don't, they will be exposed the same way as seniors, the same way as people who opening businesses and who might be the best medical doctors or best artists, but not aware of technology, and being hurt by hackers financially immediately on the fly when they opening those companies. We try to serve the community and make the money.
I mean, technology, like, I guess, like with everything, when it goes well, it goes really well. When it goes badly, it goes badly, doesn't it? And I think being able to identify ways to keep ourselves safe, to know kind of a few simple things that we can be doing, like you said earlier, assume no trust to start off with. So do those bits. It's one of the things I always do is, if somebody gives me a telephone number, I'll Google first what the telephone number it says on their website, and I'll use that one instead, just because I'm perhaps a little overly suspicious. But I'd rather do that than inadvertently call the wrong thing and be giving out information. So tell me a little bit more about your journey, though, to get here. So did you start off when you were like at school thinking this is going to be the area that you wanted to be taken forward as your career, or did that kind of come as you navigated through your normal career?
Yeah, thank you. Very good question. So my last 5 years I spent at the university being the program manager for English as second language. It's one of the Washington DC based universities with campuses, in different states. I was teaching full time as a full-time professor, and one of the things that I was doing was training staff and training students on safety. It wasn't major or main thing, but outside of business courses, outside of management program, I look at this opportunity, and I really believe that is something that our society needs. From children that we have in a family to seniors, my parents-in-law, the entire multiple levels of our society is missing this training. Being in business prior and not knowing technological part of it, I was not able to understand the risks, and unfortunately many of us, without knowing what we're doing and without prior to being hit by attackers, by hackers financially and technically, we not always understand how important and how risky the situation is. The same goes with seniors, the same goes with children, unfortunately, and with many other groups in our society. So I truly believe that is an opportunity to close the gap that we currently have everywhere in training and educating business owners. If you think about cyber insurance, if you sell cyber insurance, if I'm the person who just opened up business, a trucking company, without having any technical background, what are chances that having a laptop and running, I can be the best manager and best small business operator, knowing what I'm doing with the best marketing support? What are chances that without knowing all the technical issues, I will not be hit by hackers and by bad actors, and my accounts will not be hacked? Unfortunately, today, if the computer is hacked, it's no longer locking you. In many cases, there are some cases where you're being locked and you will have to pay money to be unlocked. But in majority of cases, we don't even know that computer is hacked. So we will continue entering and accessing banking accounts, we'll continue entering and accessing PayPal, all other places, emails, you call, but everything that we type will be picked up, all the keystrokes will be copied and known by attackers. So we don't know. The same way, even the government agencies, the huge businesses, don't know that they've been hacked. It's not that somebody stole my wallet and I came and I opened my bag and there's no wallet there. And I understand, oh my God, my wallet is stolen. You come and everything seems to be okay. your files are in place, everything is working. So somebody just made a copy. So it takes a while for even the big companies to recognize that they were attacked. So that makes it very complicated to recover financial legally from all type of perspectives. But we have to be highly careful and take multiple steps to be protected. And there is no 100% protection. No matter what we do, there is no if there would be way, it would be somebody will come up with a way, it would be $1 billion industry. But we just have to be careful. The same way you tell your kids don't talk to anybody on the street, you have to look at the same way when you go online. You cannot you have to have no trust to anybody who you're talking to until you verify. And one more thing I want to add, whatever you say, whatever you use will be used or could be used against you. So it's not a part of it. But you have to be very carefully with steps you're taking.
So I guess it's about being very conscious in what we're doing and kind of taking those steps in a really thoughtful way. But what do we do? I mean, you've said no matter what we kind of do, we're never going to mitigate every single risk. We're never going to be 100% secure. So can you share with us, if we have had our computer hijacked, if we are being blackmailed for money to open it, what can we do then? If is that too late, or is there still things that we can do to improve to get ourselves out of that problem?
Sure. Thank you. Very good question. And that is the main question that everybody's asking. So we just have to be careful. We have to have zero trust. So if somebody sent you email asking for money, if somebody called you, and we're not talking about computers only, it can be a cell phone number, as you mentioned, mobile phone call, it can be text messages, it can be link that, assumingly bank is texting you saying your credit card was used a second ago and somebody charged $6,000 dollars on the credit card. Was it you? And you responding and they asking for verification for your password, for your PIN, and it's not a bank, of course, or they send you the link and you click on it from your cell phone and just a few letters shortcut and it's look like your bank, but it's not, and you enter your login information, so they become more and more advanced. There is a spoofing where they call you and your caller ID showing the bank number, but it's not a bank. So you have to have zero trust. Basically, whatever people tell you on the phone, whatever people email you, you have to say, thank you for giving me this information. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. And I'm going to call back using the number that I'm familiar with from the website or from the back of your credit card. The same way with internet. Two things I would recommend to everyone: to have antivirus installed on your computer, to have malware, anti-malware, and there is websites such as download.com and many others where you can find it for free. There is places where you can scan the website prior to entering this website. There is if you Google and search how to scan the website, prior to entering, there's multiple free tools that allow you to check. And keep in mind, if there is something really good and it's free and it's hard to believe, be cautious. There's nothing free. Well, there's free things, but if it sounds to be too good to be true, you have to carefully look into this. There are channels that are offering free movies, 24/7, the top movies that people pay money to watch. Carefully scan this website. There's virustotal.com. There's many other things on the internet that can help you to be in a safe zone. And just Google, just YouTube, how to be safe and what steps to take to improve your safety. And there is many sources and many resources. Stay up to speed. Subscribe for latest cyber safety news. Watch this industry the same way that you're watching news, if you do, or instead of watching news, put some time to look into specifically cyber safety. Like we talk about the health, we learning about our health because when we healthy, the same way put time aside and carefully, allocate this time on safety in terms of what is going on because industry is changing. And whatever I tell you today, tomorrow, people coming with better, solutions, hackers coming with better ways or more improved ways, unfortunately, how to attack. So industry is changing, as we speak with AI and voice cloning. So keep yourself up to speed, monitor. It's not, really crazy to do it. And most of the time, basic basic protection will help to stay in the safe zone in most of the cases.
My goodness, there's just so much to think about, isn't there, and to consider. And I guess, we were saying be vigilant, but then equally, as you say, when we start to Google some of those, it's then, if they look and sound too good to be true, they possibly are too good to be true, and therefore, is it better to go with recommendations or trusted sources for that are recommending things that we can use to keep ourselves safe?
Sure, it's a very good point. And like I said, if somebody call you and that is a company or phone number and they offer you good deal, there is possibility it can be true. But Google it, check for ratings, and before you trust anybody, take steps. As I mentioned, zero trust approach should be the best solution to protect ourselves. Google, check it. Google the phone number, Google email, Google name, and see what other people say about this company or about the person. And by the way, Google yourself. Okay, check what people know about you. In the United States, the information brokers, the companies that sell information about people online, for a few dollars, if you Google somebody's name, you can purchase all type of information about the person, place where person lives, relatives' names. You will know how much the house costs where I live, how much you pay taxes for the house, who is my wife, my age, my previous places of work. Basically, you can find almost anything about anybody nowadays. And attackers are using this. They might know stuff when they call, if that is a targeted attack. So you have to know what people can find about you, not to be over impressed or over trust when you've been approached by the phone call or text message or invitation to attend the conference. So you need to know what people would know about you if they Google you. So the same with companies. I just watched the podcast a few days ago, and companies now creating the passwords where the CEO have to add this password to the voicemail in order for the voicemail to consider to be legitimate. So with the voice cloning, if I'm CEO of the company and this podcast is published on YouTube, on many other sources internationally, what are chances if I'm CEO of the top company with billion-dollar industry that somebody can record or pick up this voice and generate voicemails? In today's world, there is free tools. There are tools that cost $5 per month where you can upload a file with a voice, you can type any text, and this voice will say those words, and my wife and my children will not be able to recognize if this is my voice in the voicemail or this AI generated voice. So if we talk about the whole personal level, the family members can be hit. As you mentioned, they can call and leave a message on my wife's voicemail saying, I'm in trouble, please send me money. But if we're talking about CEO, the message can be sent to the CFO or any other departments, and the voice will match the CEO's voicemail. So how to avoid it? CEO cannot just not talk publicly, not publish anything on the social media or YouTube or any other places worldwide. So people, in many cases, companies coming up with a password. So if you're a CEO and you leave a message on my voicemail, you will have to say the password, after you directed me to transfer money to a specific account. You have to specify the password which company is setting on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, in order for any voice commands or any messages from the top advisors and top managers to be processed. So second or third layer of verification, authentication would be the best way to go on the personal level and on the companies, on the corporate level as well. As you mentioned, when you get a phone call, or your family member get a phone call from you, you just say, hey, I will always say this password at the end of my voicemail. Okay, it sounds crazy, but if you talk about big money, we have to be more careful. And if we talk about safety, we have to be more careful. We talk about children, parents, and grandparents, other family members. So that is one of the ways to go. But there's many other second layers of the verification that we can utilize on the personal or business levels.
Wow, there's just so much to consider, isn't there? And I have a really good friend who's just experienced a hijacking themselves. They hired a third party to build something which, when it was first built, it looked like it had been done in their name. It looked like it was exactly what they'd expected it to be done. But actually, as they dug into it, there was layers and layers that were in there. So it actually wasn't in their name at all. And now they're having to pay more money to the person who built it for them to turn it over to them so that they can actually utilize it. Is that common? Is that something that happens quite often? And if so, are there ways that we could protect ourselves from that?
Yes, there is it happens very often. It's happened very often, and unfortunately, there's a way that attackers approach us are changing daily and weekly. So the criminals coming up with new solutions as we speak, and there is no way for us to, if you think about antivirus, the antivirus can have all type of different restrictions in place and blockings in place. And while it is produced and given to everyone, the attackers coming up with new ways to do it. So we want to make sure there is all doors and windows open, and no matter what we try to do, or no matter how cautious we are, there's always a way to, for attackers to, think of new or more advanced way to attack. So we have to watch and we have to carefully monitoring what happens to other people. And as mentioned, Google, YouTube, plus podcasts, social media, in some cases, would be the solution to be up to speed, to subscribe for newsletters, to be aware and to spend 15-20 minutes a day just to watch what's going on with technology, what is what not necessary about criminals doing hacking, but pay attention what this industry is doing and what is going on, who get hit, how and why, and that would help us to be up to speed and to know if somebody calling us. You might say, oh, I remember, I read it, this is how they do it. If you, just an example, I just, I was monitoring one of those free newsletters that I'm subscribing. People receive a phone call from the bank. And as you know, now they have a second factor authentication where, I'm receiving the text message on the phone to verify that, when I log into, to the bank account. So they call and say, I'm calling from the bank, and it was normal way to attack and to stress people. And remember, attackers always trying to stress you. They want you to make decisions immediately. It might be, scream voice on the back of the recording, with a family member screaming, saying, don't shoot, don't kill, and the attackers can say, you have to send money, or it can be, any other things on the back that sounds like a calling center or the business. So they use all type of different voice things, to confirm and to support, to make you believe and trust. But they will stress you, and they will give you timing, and they will say you will be arrested tomorrow if you're not going to pay, all this money today. And they pretend to be calling from the tax agency or from the police or from any other place. So they try to stress out to make you immediately make those decisions on the fly without having time to ask somebody else or to contact the authorities and the police and other places. So try not to make decisions. Try to calm down and take information, because possibly it can be truth. There's chances, but most probably it's not. Take information and try to verify. And like I said, we can share what we were going through with each other, which is very helpful. But as I mentioned, attackers coming up with new tools on the fly every day. So to keep yourself up to speed, the best way to watch the media and to allocate a little time to educate yourself, on a daily basis or on a weekly basis.
Wow, it's fascinating. I could chat to you all day. I'm very conscious that we're coming to time, but you've shared such great advice with us, which is to educate ourselves, to understand what's going on, to keep ourselves vigilant, and to be conscious in our choices, and to recognize that people often, when they're trying to play to our emotional brain, which we know responds 24 times faster than our thinking brain, is to give ourselves a moment of pause. And that's easy to say right now, sitting here chatting to you when we're okay, and very difficult to do when you're in a position of real stress. I remember when I was having to deal with a stalker, I had many challenges where they kept turning up or tracking family members down, and it's really hard to stay consciously present when you're under that kind of emotional attack. But as you've shared with us, and Dr. Felix, it really is about trying to take a moment, take a pause, verify as much as you can, keep yourself educated. Have I missed any of the key elements that people should be trying to do now to keep them safe?
Yeah, no trust. I think if you Google, the fake images and publications, video clips, and photo pictures, which are generated by AI, the voice with latest technology, as I would highlight again, the trust into what we read, what we see on the screen should be around zero. I don't want to say we should not believe anything that we see, but anything that we read, if you think about it, AI is generating not only articles, not only images. I believe it was the former Prime Minister of the UK, photo picture being arrested, with the 3 police officers in London, and it was in social media all over. It was a fake. It was just an example of. It was published everywhere in the world, and the picture looked like, he is on the ground, police officers, picture of London behind. There is no way to really know if it's true or not. The same way, video clips, to put your photo picture on a video clip and to make you animated so that you can walk in the middle of the places where you never walk, or walk with someone else next to you that you never seen in your life, is very simple, very easy to do. Including your voice, including everything you wrote, including music, including art. Everything can be generated on a fake level nowadays. So you have to maintain this zero trust, in your mind, saying, "Oh, I see it. Is it true or not?" It's like if somebody call you and say, "I would like to meet you today at 5 p.m. and my name is so and so," you probably would not go if you do not know this person. So it's the same thing. You should keep in mind, or if you tell your children, don't talk to strangers on the street. You have to tell them, assume the stranger is a bad person, and you have to maintain a distance. You cannot get closer to somebody's car. You cannot, respond to a known number, or don't pick up, don't talk. It's the same way we should maintain our own integrity online. So.
Right. Thank you so very much. I'm so sorry that we're now out of time, but Dr. Kravets, thank you so very much for joining us and sharing such invaluable insight to help us stay safe and stay vigilant. And I'd like to thank
Please go ahead.
And I'd like to thank everybody who's watching and listening. I hope you found it as insightful and informative as I did. We look forward to seeing you here next time on Authentic Achievements at USA Global TV and Radio. And until then, keep yourself safe. Take care.
Women of the Caribbean and around the world, are you tired of the status quo? Tired of barely making ends meet? Tired of giving maximum effort for minimum results? Are you in need of change, a fresh start, a new outlook, a new perspective? It's time to break through. Join us along with women from around the world at the Empower Her Escape, a 5-day all-inclusive royal cruise to the Bahamas and Florida. Connect with world leaders and influencers and begin afresh your journey to more. Hear dynamic speakers with sessions on women in leadership, the importance of mentorship, how to start a business from the ground up, financial literacy, an integrated approach to wellness and wholeness, and so much more. Guest speakers include First Lady Anne-Marie Davis of the Bahamas, Her Royal Highness Katerina of Yugoslavia Lady de Silva, Her Royal Highness Queen Sekothali Mphena of South Africa, and Coach Max, Global Multi-Six-Figure Wealth Coach. Cruise packages include 2 nights at an all-exclusive resort, gratuities, taxes, and port fees, red carpet welcome and extravaganza, course materials, and a souvenir gift bag, flight not included. The Empower Her Escape Cruise takes place on May 15th through the 19th, 2024, departing from the port of Palm Beach, Riviera Beach, Florida. Hosts for this life-changing event are Coach Cherish Hollingsworth of Florida and Coach Mercy Gilbert of the UK. For more information, visit our website at www.empowerherroyalescape.com or call us at 954-203-6608 or email us at cherishresiliencecoach@gmail.com. Connect, collaborate, celebrate at the Empower Her Escape Cruise.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the secrets of visual impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you.